Emmerdale has revealed that its already dramatic wedding week is about to become even more intense, with the latest stunt paving the way for an even bigger disaster. Meanwhile, the life of a beloved character is left hanging in the balance. Tonight's episode opened at the Woolpack, where Caleb and Ruby Milligan proudly celebrated their success in destroying Joe's wedding day and turning his life upside down. They believed they had finally taken revenge on Joe for the pain he caused Caleb after taking his kidney. Elsewhere, Billy Fletcher got rid of Dawn and the children's phones as Dawn began questioning whether Joe Tate was really responsible for attacking him. Since Billy had been struck from behind, she asked him whether he could truly be certain about his attacker. Eventually, Billy confessed that he had allowed Dawn to believe the story. Although he insisted that Joe was dangerous, the main reason was that he remained in love with Dawn and desperately wanted to begin a new life with her. Dawn was furious with Billy and rejected him completely. Calling him pathetic, jealous, and the real monster, she returned to the car. Billy warned her that going back to the village was impossible because Caleb would have already betrayed her. Ignoring his warning, Dawn drove back towards the village. She narrowly missed hitting Caleb with the car before confronting him and punching him squarely in the face. Meanwhile, Nicola King returned home and discovered that Jimmy was organizing a secret surprise for her. However, he told Nicola that she would need to cycle to the location while he drove there, carrying everything they needed. At the wedding tent, Joe sent the staff away before angrily throwing chairs around and drinking directly from a bottle. But his anger suddenly faded when Dawn arrived wearing her wedding dress and pleaded with him to forgive her. "Will you still marry me?" she asked. Before Joe had the chance to respond, a van suddenly smashed into the tent. The episode ended with Jimmy unconscious behind the wheel, while Joe lay unconscious beneath a decorative truss. Dawn, however, was nowhere to be seen. The reason Jimmy suddenly lost control of the vehicle remains unknown, but newly released spoilers suggest that the danger is only beginning. Upcoming episodes confirm that Joe and Dawn are trapped inside the wreckage, while Nicola is devastated after learning that Jimmy's life is in serious danger. And to make matters worse, a huge explosion is about to put everyone at even greater risk. The soap has also shared a behind-the-scenes look at the filming of the spectacular stunt. The footage reveals how separate scenes involving the moving vehicle and the dramatic dive were combined to produce the breathtaking final sequence. In tonight's episode of Emmerdale, the danger reaches terrifying new levels for everyone caught up in the shocking wedding day disaster. Viewers are still stunned after Dawn's dream of getting a second chance with Joe was destroyed when Jimmy's car crashed straight through the wedding marquee. Here are 6 major teasers from tonight's episode as the devastating consequences of the crash unfold. Following the huge collision, Joe is left trapped inside the wreckage of the wedding marquee, with debris, decorative trusses, and heavy equipment scattered across the scene. Escaping proves extremely difficult. Joe attempts to remain composed, but the situation becomes increasingly dangerous as petrol leaks from Jimmy's car and parts of the marquee appear ready to collapse. Jimmy's situation is equally worrying. As he regains consciousness inside the wrecked vehicle, he soon discovers that he is unable to get out. Putting his own safety aside, Jimmy becomes determined to ensure that Joe and Dawn survive. After everything that has happened, he cannot bear the thought of another tragedy weighing on his conscience. Meanwhile, Graham faces problems of his own after Dawn physically restrains him and leaves him trapped at the home farm stables. Desperate to alert someone about the disaster at the marquee, Graham tries to use his phone, only to discover that its battery has died. Such poor preparation is certainly unusual for Graham. Elsewhere, Nicola gets on her bicycle and sets off to meet Jimmy for the romantic afternoon he had secretly arranged for them. However, as she travels along, Nicola passes the wedding marquee and is horrified by the destruction she sees. Can she help save those trapped inside before time runs out? Billy later comes face to face with Kim at the pub. Kim is furious over Billy's manipulation, but he refuses to apologize for trying to keep Dawn away from Joe. Meanwhile, Billy, Kim, Graham, Belle, Cammy, Liam and Manpreet all eventually make their way to the devastated marquee, where Nicola and several trapped victims are already facing grave danger. But are they walking directly into an even bigger catastrophe? Before the episode comes to an end, a massive explosion erupts, and one character loses their life. It marks the end of one person's journey in the village, but who will be the tragic victim? Emmerdale star Katie Hill has addressed Sarah Sugden's future following the shocking Dr. Todd storyline. Sarah recently caused the villainous doctor's death after pushing him during a heated confrontation at Charity's home. Sarah and her grandmother Charity are now desperately trying to keep the truth hidden. Charity has taken responsibility for what happened in an attempt to prevent her granddaughter from ending up behind bars. Katie has since confirmed that Sarah will remain in the Dales and will not be sent to prison as the storyline continues. Recalling her stunned reaction when she first learned about the plot, Katie explained, "I was like, right, okay. Then I started thinking, am I going to prison? Sophie Roper immediately told me, don't worry, you don't go to prison. I was like, okay, breathe. I've still got a job." Katie went on to say that she felt privileged to be given such an important storyline. She described it as the biggest plot she has ever been involved in and explained that it marks a huge transformation for Sarah. The actress said the storyline takes Sarah from being a cheerful and innocent young mother, enjoying life with Jacob, to facing a life-changing event that will affect her forever. Katie added that she feels both excited and grateful for the opportunity. She also revealed that Sarah's secret will place serious strain on her relationship with Jacob, who has no idea what really happened. Katie teased, "At the beginning, you definitely see their relationship being affected because Sarah completely shuts down. She doesn't want to speak to him and keeps avoiding him. Jacob obviously has no idea what's happening, so he starts wondering whether he's done something wrong. We'll definitely see them go through a difficult and rocky period." Katie added that Sarah explains her strange behavior by blaming the trauma of witnessing someone's death, and that is the story she continues to tell Jacob. Meanwhile, producer Sophie Roper has previously suggested that Sarah will eventually have to face the consequences of her actions. Roper explained, "As this story progresses, we'll see the impact of what Sarah has done, including exploring the situation from a legal perspective." She also revealed that the storyline will examine Sarah's own emotional struggle, including how she sees herself after the incident, how she faces the trauma, and how difficult she finds coping with everything that happened. Emmerdale airs on weeknights at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITV.